at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Game 1 of a 3-game series. The Phils and the Cincinnati Reds. Reds have taken the field. Cincinnati has played pretty well here at home. They're 14-8 at this ballpark at their home park, but on the road they have struggled. They are 10-18 on the road and 2 games under 500. Jim Fragosi's lineup tonight has Lenny Dykstra, center fielder, leading off. Mickey Morandini, second base, bats second. John Kruk, first baseman, hitting third. Dave Hollins, third base, bats fourth. Darren Dalton will catch and hit fifth. Jim Eisenreich in right field, batting sixth. Milt Thompson, the left fielder, hits seventh. Kim Baptiste at shortstop, batting eighth, and batting ninth and pitching Kurt Schilling. They will be facing Tim Belcher.
Tim Belcher, big right-hander, 6'3", 220-pounder, 31 years of age, from nearby Sparta, Ohio. You see the numbers on him. He pitched a one-hitter his last time out. 6.2 strikeouts per 9 innings for him. 3.3 walks in the game that he pitched against the Phillies this year. Surprisingly, Harry walked 5, didn't strike out anybody.
Defensively behind Belcher, Jeff Branson at third base. Chris Sabo is a little banged up. Barry Larkin at short. Pip Roberts at second, and Randy Milligan at first. Joe Oliver does the catching in the outfield from left to right. Kevin Mitchell in left. Bobby Kelly in center, and Reggie Sanders in right. The umpires tonight: Bob Davidson will call the balls and strikes. Bill Hahn at first base. Mark Barron at second, and John McSherry, the crew chief, will be at third. Bob and Lisa Hecker here from Reading, Pennsylvania, cheering for the Phils. Leading off for the Phils will be Lenny Dykstra. He has been hot lately, an 8-game hitting streak. Lenny batting at .400 over the last 8 games. Overall hitting .265. Davey Johnson, Maca's manager in the major leagues.
Davey Johnson, Bobby Valentine were advisors for the Cincinnati Ball Club when the season started. Tony Perez was the manager. Now Valentine's the third base coach, and he's the manager.
Ground ball foul past Mel Roberts. 0-1 to Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra tied for second in the league in runs scored, 41. Tied with John Kruk in that department. Phillies as a team lead the league in walks, lead the league in runs, and lead the league in home runs. That 6-homer game yesterday. The Phils now have 52 home runs. Houston is second with 50. One ball and one strike to Lenny Dykstra.
We're back to a little dose of reality now after being in Denver over the weekend, where that franchise is just not ready for prime time. The Reds are a good team. They have a very good lineup, and they have an excellent pitcher in Belcher on the mound tonight.
Ground ball to first base. Milligan will make the play himself. Dykstra's retired, 1 down. All the teams in the East that played this afternoon lost. Montreal lost to Houston 2-1 at Houston. Dodgers beat the Cardinals at St. Louis 5-1, and the Mets beat Chicago 9-5. So the Phils at this moment are 7.5 games up in National League East. There was a rain out. San Francisco and Florida rained out. Morandini slaps it just foul down the left field line. Inches foul, 1 strike to Mickey Morandini, who's hitting at .217.
Morandini hasn't played too much lately because all the left-handers the Phillies have been seeing. Duncan's been playing some second base, and as a result, Jim Fragosi thinks that Morandini's a lot stronger and quicker with the bat. The other day, he got a couple of base hits when he played. He got a hit the other night when he came into a game, and he thinks that few days where he didn't play actually helped him, even though Morandini doesn't ever want to sit down necessarily.
Reds really do not play him to the opposite field like other teams do. Surprisingly, as hard as Belcher throws. I mean, other teams really shade him to the opposite field. They do a little bit, but not the way other teams do.
No, and they really have the left fielder Mitchell way off the line, too, which is unusual, especially since he slapped the foul down the third baseline.
Close, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mickey Morandini. up the middle, fielded by Pip Roberts. Off balance throw, didn't get him. Infield single for Mickey Morandini. Pip did all he could do. He had to make the throw off balance, just couldn't get anything on it.
Yeah, you see him go to his right here, and he feels the ball running away from the bag. He actually got a lot on this throw, which is kind of amazing. It's a bang-bang play, and Morandini just does beat it.
So Morandini is a one-out base runner for John Kruk. Krucker hitting at .369, third in the league in hitting. Lifetime, he's been a pretty good hitter against Belcher, .364 against this right-hander, including a home run. One ball and no strikes to Kruk.
Phillies saw Belcher back in early April. He was throwing a lot of breaking balls, change-ups, and did not have a good fastball in that game. For Tim Belcher to pitch the way he did that night and not strike out anybody is really unusual. They say he's throwing a lot harder, and as a result, his numbers are getting a lot better.
Both of his wins have been shutouts. He's tied for the league lead in shutouts, along with his pitching opponent Curt Schilling tonight, with 2 of them. Doc Gooden also has 2, as does Doug Graybeck. One ball and one strike to John Kruk.
Belcher has really poor numbers here at Riverfront Stadium. 1-1 with a 7.13 earned run average in his 4 starts this year here in this ballpark. Now, this is not necessarily a pitcher-friendly park, but those are awful high numbers for a guy of his quality. That's not his good move either.
No.
Belcher can really hold runners on. He has a very quick move to first base. He has good feet, and he's just kind of showing Morandini that he knows he's over there. That's not the move he'll use if he wants to try and pick him off.
Missing 2 balls and a strike. Reds outfield isn't playing Kruk the way most outfields do either. They're playing him straight away. It looks like the Reds' philosophy is give him the lines and take away the alleys on every hitter.
And they used to do that all. Remember the good teams they had in the 70s? That was always their philosophy, was to pinch the alleys.
Morandini taking off, but it's fouled out of the glove of Oliver, and Mickey will have to come back. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Phillies were trying to play a little hit and run that time with a 2-1 count. Morandini running and Kruk fouling the ball straight back. Or as they call him here in Cincinnati, Crook. That is the way John's family does pronounce his name, is Crook, and John Browdy, the PA announcer here, calls him Crook.
Morandini going again. Oliver's throw gets away. Mickey heading for third, and he'll reach third. Stolen base, and probably a throwing error on Joe Oliver.
That's good base running by Morandini, because when the ball got away, him being a second baseman knew that Roberts was going to have to go catch it and then throw off balance if any way he got to it. Right there. Oh, that ball's dropped by Larkin.
Yep. That should be an error on Larkin.
And then Morandini sees it. Yep.
Yeah. It is an error on Larkin, who's one of the game's best at shortstop, but fouled that one up. They'll keep the infield back. Kruk lofts a fly ball to left field. This should score the run. Mitchell makes the catch. Here comes Morandini. The throw by Mitchell will be late. Phil's lead 1-0. Sacrifice fly by John Kruk. He knocks in his 31st.
And the Phillies continue to produce runs. You see the reception for Morandini, led by tonight's starting pitcher Curt Schilling. Also as Kruk comes back. I mean, they get a runner to the third base, and they get the fly ball that they need.
Morandini is 5 for 5 in the stolen base department now. And the batter will be Dave Hollins. Hollins hitting at .306, tied for second in the league in RBIs with 43. 7th in the league in runs scored. One strike to Dave Hollins. Hollins' lifetime against Belcher is 4 for 10. Ground ball hit to Pip Roberts. He has it and throws. Hollins retired. But the Phils sneak a run the first, getting a run on one hit. One costly Cincinnati error, and nobody left after one half. Phils won. Reds coming to bat.
Infinity wondered what would happen if a luxury car stepped outside the traditional lines. The designers drew an oval to create a cocoon-like feeling, pierced by an arc to project motion. That beautifully simple concept led to something simply beautiful, the J30. Visit your Infinity showroom and see what a luxury car looks like when it has a personality.
When this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, all of the only place I know.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space.
To make it so.
British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
Athlete's Foot. Every year, over 28 million Americans get it. Try NP27. Its doctor-recommended ingredient stops burning and itching fast. NP27. Nothing's a better cure for Athlete's Foot.
Davey Johnson's Cincinnati lineup tonight has Biff Roberts second base leading off. Jeff Branson at third base hits second. Barry Larkin shortstop batting third. Kevin Mitchell left fielder hits fourth. Bobby Kelly in center field batting fifth. Randy Milligan first base hits sixth. Reggie Sanders in right field batting seventh. Joe Oliver catching hitting eighth and batting ninth and pitching Tim Belcher. They're facing Kurt Schilling.
Schilling is 6'4". He's 215 pounds, 26 years of age, number 2 pick by the Red Sox back in 1986. Sparkling year he's having so far, 6-1 with a 2.70 earned run average. Lifetime against Cincinnati, 1-1 and winless here at Riverfront. His walks and strikeouts excellent. 6 strikeouts per 9 innings and only 1.9 walks per 9 innings. So he certainly doesn't hurt himself with walks.
Dave Holland's at third. Behind him at shortstop, Kim Baptiste, Mickey Morandini at second, and John Kruk at first. Aaron Dalton doing the catching again. And in the outfield, Milt Thompson in left, Lenny Dykstra in center, and Jim Eisenreich in right. Biff Roberts leads it off. Biff hitting at 237. 1 ball and no strikes.
Cincinnati Reds with those old-style Reds uniforms that they're wearing here at home this year. The old Ted Kluszewski look.
2 balls and no strikes to Biff Roberts. Biff batting better left-handed than right. 276 left-handed, 172 right-handed. Two and one to Biff.
Roberts a pretty good left-handed batter. He's stronger from the right side, but quicker bat left-handed, and he slaps the ball around left-handed.
Schilling is high with it. It's 3-1.
Bona fide base stealer too. When he gets on base, he's a guy who will run.
Fouls it out of play. It's a full count to Biff Roberts.
Kurt Schilling likes to pitch at night, 5-0 with a 2.15 earned run average and 7 night starts. So, you know, he got himself working on a night game here, which has been right up his alley so far this season.
Opponents are only hitting .207 against Schilling. That's third best in the National League. Tommy Green leads the league in that department. Opponents are hitting .180 against Green now after his outing yesterday.
Hard to believe that Mulholland and Green pitched games in that ballpark and their numbers got better.
Wow.
And that was really some experience there this weekend.
Just another foul down the first base side. Still 3-2 to Biff Roberts. There's T to Green, Danny Jackson, and Mark Davis. Line drive. That's a hit to left field. Thompson has it on one hop, and Biff Roberts, the leadoff base runner. As Chris mentioned, he'll steal. He's 16 out of 19 in the stolen base department.
As I mentioned, he just likes to slap the ball around left-handed. He fouled off some pitches from Schilling, then got a ball away and gets himself a line drive base hit. He's become a pretty good little left-handed hitter.
Jeff Branson, the third baseman, is hitting at .385. Hasn't had that much of an opportunity to play. Used primarily as a pinch hitter, but Chris Sabo is out. Back problems. Branson playing third today. 1 strike to him.
After Branson, all right-handed batters in the Cincinnati Reds lineup. They are one of the more right-handed teams in the league. One of their big problems is that Hal Morris has been out all year. They expect him back in about a week, and he'll really help their balance in their lineup.
No question. We saw him taking BP tonight. He was swinging the bat pretty good.
I thought he was going to be activated tonight watching him.
Foul it back, 0-2.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was anything wrong with him. What they told us, Harry, is that he's going to go out on a rehab like most players do nowadays. They'll go out and play for a couple games, and then they'll get him back here. But they really miss Hal Morris. He got hurt in a freak accident at the end of spring training in a fight.
Just missing with a breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Branson. Bip Roberts at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Phil's lead 1-0. In the dirt, it's 2-2.
Branson's a nice little extra man for Cincinnati because he can play third, short, or second. He swings the bat. He doesn't have much power, but he'll hit some doubles. He's a prototype utility infielder. Bip Roberts showing no signs of running yet, but this is a good time to go now. 2-2.
7th in the league in stolen bases, 16 of them. He's only been thrown out 3 times. Late swing and a miss struck him out. Schilling is among the league leaders in strikeouts. Came in as the 8th leading strikeout pitcher in the league. 53 of them. That's number 54 for him.
Well, he shows you what happens when a hitter's trying to pull a ball. See, Branson is open. Then he comes into the ball, and he was looking for something middle in to pull with the hole open. He got a pitch on the outside corner. He just couldn't get to it.
Brings on Barry Larkin. Larkin hitting at .317. I don't ever remember doing a game against the Reds when he's not hitting over 300.
Yeah, he has been a premier player for a long time.
1 strike to him. He has a 6-game hitting streak, batting .417 in the last 6, although he's not particularly a good hitter against Schilling. 1 out of 9 lifetime against Schilling.
There aren't many right-handed batters that hit Schilling very well. I mean, Marquise Grissom is the guy that kills Schilling, but you watch right-handed hitters, they're not real comfortable against him.
It straight back. No balls and 2 strikes to Larkin.
Phillies like to think they can get Larkin out up just the way you saw that pitch then. You get him out down and away, or you can get him to chase balls up in the strike zone when you get ahead of him. Now whether they'll go after him right away 0-2, you know, we'll see. But at some point in the game, if they want to strike out on Larkin, they'll try to go up the ladder with him.
Up and in for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kind of shade Larkin to the opposite field do the Phillies. The Schilling pitching, a hard baller. They expect him to be a little late. Fouls it down the right field side. Spoiling a nasty slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Roberts is having trouble picking up Schilling over at first base. He wants to run. Schilling has a good move over there, but he's also gotten very deceptive the way he goes to home plate, and he does a good job of holding runners on. He varies his move too. He'll hold the ball sometimes. He'll quick pitch. He's gotten a lot better at it.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Barry Larkin. Kevin Mitchell waits on deck. There he goes. Dalton's throw is a strong one, and out at second base is Bip Roberts on a strong throw by Dutch Dalton.
Strong throw, as Harry says, and also because Schilling kept Roberts close. He does not get a good jump. He didn't have a good lead, A perfect pitch to throw on, and Dalton gets him by plenty. And there's nothing a catcher likes more than the way Schilling and Green and Mulholland hold these runners on, and they don't get a good jump.
So that's 2 outs, and it's a full count now to Larkin. Pops a foul, first base sign. That'll go out of play. Still 3-2 to Larkin with 2 outs and no base runners. Phil's lead 1-0. Line drive over the head of a leaping Nicky Morandini, base hit. So Larkin is a 2-out base runner. Throw out, stealing a big play for Schilling here in the first. The batter will be Kevin Mitchell.
He stayed away from him for the most part. Schilling throws a fastball. He was trying to get that ball on the outside part of the plate. He got it down the middle more than he wanted. And Morandini gives it an effort, no chance.
Mitchell batting at .348. 6 home runs. He's knocked in 29. Takes it right there for a strike.
He's been hurt a lot throughout his career, out with a sore elbow the last 3 games. Mitchell, when he plays, is still very, very dangerous, but they never know when he's going to be able to play. That's a problem with him.
A little bit wide, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Looks like he's also put on a little weight.
Yeah, really.
But you know what he does? He stands right up on top of the plate. He's fearless. He says, go ahead, throw it inside if you want, because it's not going to bother me if you hit me. Look where he stands.
2-1. Big Phillies fan Marge Morgan here tonight, sending along her best to Granny and Pop Morgan. Mom Scott O'Neill and her nephews Matthew and Danny watching the ball game tonight.
Look at that stance. That front foot pointed right at home plate. There are very few guys in the league get closer to home plate than Kevin Mitchell.
He offered at a low breaking ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He wants to hit the fastball all the time, so they throw him a 2-0 breaking ball, and you see the bat was in motion because Kevin Mitchell swinging 2-0 fastball there.
That's got him from Seattle in the Norm Charlton deal. Jammed him with a fastball. It's foul back. Still 2-2.
Birthday wishes tonight to Jack Brandley of Pocono Pines, recovering from some surgery. He's 64. And also happy birthday to Shorty Maurer of Lancaster, 79.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Kevin Mitchell. Full count. Larkin will be taking off on the pitch. Larkin hasn't shown any indication to steal, although he's a base stealer too. He's 11 out of 12 this year.
Schilling not sharp here in the first inning. He's run 3 3-ball counts now, and so far he hasn't gotten hurt.
This with a 3-2 breaking ball, and the Reds have 2 men on base with 2 outs. It'll bring up Bobby Kelly. Kelly hitting at .307.
Bobby Kelly, when he was in Philadelphia early in the year, was known as Roberto Kelly. And then right after he left town, when everybody started calling him Bobby.
Thrown a lot of pitches already here in the first inning. Dalton's throw out of Bip Roberts, a big play for Kurt. 1 ball and no strikes. Barry Larkin at second, Kevin Mitchell at first with 2 down. Missed the fastball, 1-1. Ball inside. 2 balls and a strike.
When the Phillies played Cincinnati at the Vet, they swept them in early April, and Bobby Kelly at that time was a number 2 hole hitter in the lineup. Now he's down here in the 5 hole, which is more of an RBI spot.
Missing low, 3-1. Schilling was among the top 10 in the National League in walks per 9 innings, just 1.9 per 9, but he has struggled with his control here in the first inning, surprisingly.
Yep, 4th time now he's had 3 balls on a batter as Milligan waits on deck, and he walks a lot.
Walked him. So the Reds have him loaded with 2 outs for Randy Milligan. Johnny Padre is going to come out and talk to Schilling. Milligan has walked 31 times this year. He's tied for 7th in the league in that department. Last year at Baltimore, he walked 106 times. So he is selective. Schilling will have to throw strikes here with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
And Milligan, for a big guy, as you look at Jim Fregosi and Dennis Menke there on the bench, is very selective, and that can be good and bad. You know, when you get a guy at his size, you think you would want him to swing the bat and have more production out of him than walk that much. In the Phillies case, they have a lot of guys doing that this year, which has really worked out well for them.
Fouls it, back and out of play, just beneath us.
Oh, yeah, like you're going to catch that.
That was right at Whitey, in the radio booth. Line drive, center field. Dykstra makes the grab to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave them loaded, and after 1-0 Phils.
While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a way to consolidate all your bills and loans. Mellon PSFS Home Equity Loans. While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a college education. Mellon PSFS Home Equity Loans.
Sigmund Freud, IQ 158, developed the principles of modern psychoanalysis. Sir Isaac Newton, IQ 163, formulated the law of gravity. Ken Sills, IQ 127, or so he says, just got a 2-year lease on a 93 Accord LX loaded with driver's side airbag, automatic transmission, and a lot of other cool stuff for a very smart price of only $239 a month. Ken Sills, modern-day genius? The facts speak for themselves at your tri-state Honda dealer. The smart way to go.
New Neapolitan pizza from Pizza Hut tastes so authentic, it's fooling everyone.
It's from Carlo's on 10th.
The Lucas on 2nd.
Rosanio's on Church.
From Sal's on Liberty. See?
Hand-stretched dough, rich tomato sauce, and whole milk mozzarella.
I can tell by the sauce.
This cheese is talking.
The sauce is a dead giveaway.
Oh, you want to go to Sal's? You go way down. You got it, but you can't walk.
Get 1 large Neapolitan pizza for just $7.99 or 2 for $11.99 every day at Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
I was going to say that. I didn't want to, blurt it right out,
After 1 inning of play, it's the Phils 1 and the Reds 0. Upcoming Phillies telecasts include tomorrow night's game on PHL 17 and Wednesday night's game on Sports Channel. Both games start at 7:30. Aaron Dalton leads off for the Phils. Dutch hitting at .248. That's not the important stat for him. 45 RBIs. Leads the league in runs batted in. Tied for 4th in the league in runs scored. Leads the league in walks. 3rd in slugging percentage. 7th in on-base percentage.
Other than that, he's only caught 29 straight games. This is number 30. I mean, he's really not earning his money this year, is he?
Wow.
And he will get a day off Wednesday against John Smiley. Fregosi said that he's not going to play him Wednesday. At least that's what he told me yesterday.
And I think Dalton will probably go along with that. That'll give him 2 full days with the off day on Thursday. Phillies home on Friday night against those Rockies. 2 balls and a strike to Aaron Dalton. Laces the ball, but Milligan has it to Belcher, covering in time to get Dalton. One down. That'll bring on Jim Eisenreich. Eisenreich batting at .327. Scott, copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. Like to play left-hand hitters against Belcher. Right-hand hitters had the lowest batting average against Belcher of any other pitcher in the National League last year except Greg Maddux. There's a foul out of play. 0-1 to Eisenreich.
Yeah, they hit 178 off him last year, and this year right-handed batters are hitting 200 off him. So that Harry's point is well taken there, that you'd rather bat left-handed hitters against this guy if you can.
Eisenreich fouls it straight back, 0-2.
What this has done for Jim Fregosi tonight, though, is he wants to be ahead, obviously, because he doesn't have a left-handed hitter on his bench. He has Juan Bell, but, you know, you don't think of him as a guy you bring off the bench to pinch hit. So he's playing his left-handed hitters to get ahead early and not have to worry about using the bench late.
Little pop-up behind third. Branson backtracks and makes the grab for out number 2. I'll bring up Milt Thompson. Milt hitting at .225. Danny Jackson will pitch tomorrow night for the Phillies against Jose Rijo, and on Wednesday it'll be Ben Rivera and John Smiley. Grounded foul.
There's a right-hander surrounded by 2 left-handers. That has to be some experience. Chris Greeny will get his words in.
Bouncing ball, top to first baseman Milligan, and in his way was Biff Roberts, and the ball gets by Belcher, and Thompson heading for second. Keep going. Here's Sanders, throw safe at third base. So the Reds' gloves have hurt them tonight. The Phillies really have only had one hard-hit ball, that by Dalton, but lead 1-0, and now have a runner at third base.
That ball was kind of no man's land. It wasn't hit hard, and either one of them could have gotten in Milligan or Roberts. And you see Milligan collides with him right there and then throws it away. Belcher doesn't start to run after it right away, figuring the right fielder is going to come down, and Sanders is going to see how long he stands there. He doesn't go after it, and Reggie Sanders is late coming after it. Milt Thompson saw that, Harry, when he made his turn at first, that Sanders was going to take a long time to get there.
It'll be a 3-base error on Randy Milligan. No, they're going to give him a hit also, I guess.
Yeah, they did.
Give him an infield single. And then the error on Milligan. 1 ball and no strikes to Kim Batiste. Batiste hitting at .276. Breaking ball just missing. 2-0.
Remember seeing Milligan in a game last year when he was with Baltimore, run into the second baseman in a game at Kansas City and get knocked out and remain motionless for a long time on a play just like that.
Misses the 2-0 breaking ball. 2-1. Milt Thompson at third. 2 down. Ground ball shortstop. Larkin throws out Batiste, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. After 1.5, 1-0 Phils.
Dave Hollins and the Phillies invade Mid-America to battle Barry Larkin and the powerful Cincinnati Reds. The Reds have one of the most potent offenses in baseball, but Curt Schilling and the boys will have these Reds singing the blues. Don't miss this East-West showdown as the Fightin' Phils battle the Cincinnati Reds tomorrow at 7:30, only on PHL 17.
We play the Phillies on 17.
Phils Reds tomorrow at 7:30.
People come in and say, why 5 grades of gasoline? I tell them offering only 3 grades would be like selling suits and small, medium, and large. Some people would get a good fit. Some could use a little tailoring. So if you want to know why we give you all these choices, think about the guy who needs 41 long and picture him wearing a 39 short.
The metal cylinder is secured and turned in a counterclockwise motion, causing the internal railing to rise and disengage. It's easy to make something as simple as opening a jar complex. The challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile. We take cutting-edge technology and place it comfortably in your hands. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
Searching for the perfect shave? You'll find it with Norelco. Our lift and cut system lifts the hair so when it's cut, it can drop below skin level without the blades touching your face. So for a perfect shave, remember, Norelco makes close comfortable.
This Saturday night is photo night as the Phils take on the Colorado Rockies at Veterans Stadium. Get up close photos of your favorite Phils. Compliments of Kodak and the Camera Shop Incorporated. Come out early picture taking from 5:45 to 6:15 on the field at the Vet. For tickets, just call 463-1000 or stop by a local Ticketmaster location. Reggie Sanders leads it off. Line drive right at Mickey Morandini. Drops it, recovers, low throw, and safe at first base is Sanders, and that'll be an error on Morandini.
Phillies have been having a lot of trouble with their infield defense in the last couple of weeks. Morandini, not a guy you expect to have too many problems, but that ball's hit right at him and might have knuckled on him a little bit, but still a ball he has to catch. And then he compounds it. He doesn't get anything on the throw, throws it low. And Sanders, who runs well, beats it.
Brings on Joe Oliver. He's hitting at .235. 5 homers. He's knocked in 28. There goes Sanders, a high throw, but they've got him caught as he stopped halfway down. Now Kruk, he overruns Kruk and tagged out by Baptiste. That was a weird play, but the Phillies got him. Most of the infield's about that rundown.
I think there's a hit and run here. At least somebody thinks there is. See him looking in the whole time, and now Oliver takes the pitch, and now the rundown begins, or whatever this was. You see the ball going back and forth. And Kruk, he's got no shot. That guy just scored a touchdown running around Kruk.
Oliver takes it a little bit wide.
I think what happened with Sanders there, when he looked in and saw Oliver didn't swing at the pitch, he thought, well, I got no chance. I might as well turn around and go back.
The outstealing goes 2-6-3-6. 2 balls and a strike to Oliver. Dalton's caught 46 of the Phillies' 48 games. This guy is kind of an iron man behind the plate, too, Oliver. He's caught 44 of the Reds' first 50 games. He goes down swinging for strikeout number 2 for Schilling. 2 down. Oliver also has started 3 games at first base, so he's started 47 of the Reds' 50 games. Here's Tim Belcher hitting at 118. 1 strike to him.
Happy birthday tonight to Mike Ryan of Silverdale, Pennsylvania, 39.
2 quick strikes to Belcher. Struck him out. 3 strikeouts for Schilling. That'll retire the Reds in the second. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left. We go to the 3rd inning. It's 1-0 Phils.
There's laughter coming through. You touch us, we'll touch you. It happens.
Come make contact with another world. SeaWorld.
What could 4 minutes cost if your 800 service goes down? If you're big in the travel business, $240,000. But with us, nobody misses the boat. Introducing the AT&T 800 service Never Miss a Call guarantee. Now if there's a problem, we can reroute your calls in less than a second. Sign up for the Never Miss a Call guarantee. It's the #1 reason with AT&T 800 service. It's always smooth sailing. AT&T, the best in the business, guaranteed.
A new look Ranger is now at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
No other truck is built for tough.
Ford Ranger, the #1 compact pickup for 6 straight years, has a slick new look inside and out. No wonder Ranger is 93 Compact Pickup of the Year.
It'll set you free.
The hottest new look Ranger Splash just got in town. Hurry, lease a well-equipped 93 Ford Ranger for just $199 per month for 24 months. Now at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
You better hit the ground running in a new Ford truck. Hey.
It's a really big and colorful beach towel, free for kids 14 and under. Courtesy of Mellon PSFS, Sunday, June 6th at 1:35, when the Phillies play the all-new Colorado Rockies. Reserve your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
Our trivia question tonight, and we're talking brothers tonight on our trivia question. Curt Schilling takes a strike. One brother led the American League in hitting. The other gained over 1,000 yards in an NFL season. Who are these brothers? Belcher throws out Schilling. They accomplished the feat in the same year.
Well, that blew that theory. In the same year?
Yeah. One won the American League batting crown, and the other rushed for over 1,000 yards. Sunday, June 6th, when the Phils take on the Colorado Rockies, all youngsters 14 and under get a great beach towel featuring the Fanatic, free for all children 14 and under. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. A special day for everyone, especially the youngsters. Order your tickets by calling 463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS at Broad and Chestnut. One and nothing to Lenny Dykstra, who grounded out his first time up. Well, he's got an unearned run in the first. Mickey Morandini stealing second base, and a throw that was dropped by Barry Larkin for a rare error for him. Morandini going to third and then scoring on a sacrifice fly. 2 balls and a strike. Missing 3 and 1.
Dykstra's really been fighting his way back from a slow start, and he's reacted by hitting a lot of balls the other way. That's gotten him going. He's changed his stance just a little bit, holding his bat a little bit differently, working on a few things, and it's really helped him.
Dykstra's aboard with a walk for Lenny. That's his 34th walk. He's 5th in the league in that department. And the batter will be Mickey Morandini, who got an infield single and scored the Phillies run his first time up.
You feel charitable tonight about hints?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'll take them.
They accomplished the feat in the same season.
You said that.
Well, the baseball player played for the Philadelphia Phillies at one time during his career.
Oh, that's all right. Okay.
Now you got it, right?
Yeah, that's who I was going to say, but I didn't think that could have been the same year. Tip's getting on me down there. I swear. Well, let's see if I'm right. But I didn't think they were contemporaries.
Chased a high fastball, 1 strike to Morandini.
Happy birthday tonight to Jamie Martin Joseph of Trainer, Pennsylvania.
It's unseasonably chilly tonight here at Riverfront Stadium, but Belcher without the sweatshirt.
You don't see starting pitchers do that too much. You know, the relievers will come in without sweatshirts because they're kind of half nuts anyway. A lot of those guys that are in the bullpen. No offense to any of the families watching, but you know what I mean. But starting pitchers normally are going to wear sleeves on chilly nights.
Pitch out, nothing on. Dykstra's stolen 12 bases. He's been thrown out 4 times.
Mitchell looks like he's moved over a little bit in left field from where he was in the first inning, but as Harry pointed out, there you see the defense. They still aren't overshifting Morandini the other way, which is strange off a hard thrower like Belcher.
Fouls it out of play. 2-2 to Mickey Morandini. Belcher has never had a losing season in the major leagues. Last year he was 15-14. Missing with the off-speed pitch, full count.
And he had Lenny Dykstra going back to first base that time. Dykstra probably will run in this situation with a 3-2 count, figuring that Morandini will make contact. At least that's what Jim Fragosi's hoping.
There goes Lenny. Foul out of play down the left field side. Still 3-2 to Mickey Morandini. Phil's leading 1-0. We're in the third. He offered at it a strikeout, but Dykstra steals second base.
What's he calling? Interference, double play down here?
Calling interference on Mickey Morandini, double play. Bob Davidson making the call. So it'll be a strikeout, double play on the interference. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. We go to the bottom half of the third. 1-0 Phils.
Infinity wondered what would happen if a luxury car stepped outside the traditional lines. Their designers drew an oval to create a cocoon-like feeling, pierced by an arc to project motion. That beautifully simple concept led to something simply beautiful, the J30. Visit your Infinity showroom and see what a luxury car looks like when it has a personality.
When this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, all of the only place I know.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space. British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. It's easy to make it happen.
Tonight's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. Head for the mountains of Bush. By Pizza Hut. Call Pizza Hut Delivery now and have your pizza by the 6th inning. And by Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. Pip Roberts leads it off, looks at a strike. He singled his first time up. Phil's leading 1-0. Breaking ball misses, 1-1. Top of this inning ended on the strikeout and the interference call on Mickey Morandini. Breaking ball missing, 2-1.
Schilling threw 35 pitches in the first inning, a really high number for him. He didn't throw a whole lot of pitches in the second. It's a cool night, as Harry pointed out, so, you know, you won't run out of gas necessarily on a night like this because of the weather.
Doesn't look like he's had real good command of his slider thus far. He's got a good fastball, which he almost always takes out there, but it does not look like he has command of his breaking ball at this point. Line foul, left field side, still 2-2.
That's what Roberts did to him in the first inning. He kept fouling off pitches, and then finally he got a line drive base hit to left field. Thompson is playing him a little more shallow in left than he did the first time.
Breaking ball bouncing up there, a full count.
There's that defense. 3-2, you almost have to move back a little bit.
Fouls this one out of play. Bipp, a pesky little hitter. Line drive, but right at Baptiste, and that's one down. Here's the interference call on Mickey Morandini. Dykstra running on him.
What Bob Davidson is saying here is Morandini interferes with Oliver's right to throw the ball to second base by stepping right across home plate, and that's what he did. And you see Oliver's throw, well, it bounced weakly towards second.
Yep, it's an accurate call. You can't walk in front of the plate like that and impede a catcher's throw, as Mickey did.
Sometimes they'll let you get away with it if your momentum really, in fact, does take you.
If your momentum carries you, but
in that case, he was just walking across. Yeah, he was more disgusted with himself for chasing that pitch and just kind of forgot where he was, it looked like.
1 ball and 1 strike to Branson. I'm going to take a shot at this trivia question. One brother led the AL in hitting, the other gained over 1,000 yards in an NFL season. Who are these brothers?
How about Alex and Ron Johnson?
You got it. Alex Johnson, AJ, led the 1970 California Angels, led the American League in batting in '70, and Ron rushed for over 1,000 yards for those New York Football Giants.
I honestly thought, until you mentioned the guy that played for the Phillies, that Ron Johnson, that Alex Johnson retired by the time Ron Johnson was a football player. I remember Alex Johnson playing that league. AJ had some kind of years, though.
Just missing. It's a full count.
Tell that Dennis Menke story about that ball off his helmet. Alex Johnson, when he got hit by a pitch.
By Danny Combs.
You saw it.
By Danny Combs of the Houston Astros, a hard-throwing left-hander. He threw a fastball up and into Alex Johnson. He had checked his swing, and it hit his batting helmet and went on 2 hops to Menke.
Who threw him out.
Who threw to first, thinking the ball would hit the back as it came out there like a bullet off his batting helmet. And Johnson didn't even go down. Branson goes down swinging.
To this day, Dennis Menke can't believe that ball hit his helmet and came out to him as fast as it did.
It was a hard 2-hopper, and Johnson did not even go down. I mean, he just... There's Menke sitting with Jim Fregosi and John Vukovich. 1 ball and no strikes to Larkin. He singled his first time up. Is it safely now in 7 straight games?
Phillies fans probably remember Alex Johnson when he first came up. He could really run, too.
1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies will be in sole possession of first place in National League East as of June 1st. The last time that happened was '81. 2-1 the count to Larkin. Hard ground base hit center field. Well, Larkin has his second hit. He's a 2-out base runner. Bring on Kevin Mitchell. And Schilling will have to watch Larkin. He's stolen 11 bases out of 12 attempts. Kevin Mitchell walked his first time up. Missing with a slider. Two balls and no strikes to Kevin Mitchell.
Well, they got in this situation with him last time, 2-0, threw him a slider, and he swung at it, or he check swung, and it was called a strike, which it was. So Mitchell, when you get him in cripple situations, 2-0s, 3-1s, and have to throw him fastballs, he's really dangerous.
Slider.
Yep. And Mitchell didn't offer at it that time. I mean, it's almost like he saw it out of his hand and knew it was a breaking ball, and he was going to take it. But they did not give in and throw him a 2-0 fastball.
2-1 to Kevin Mitchell. He had a rip at that pitch.
Good pitch, though, Harry. Darren Daulton set up inside, threw him a fastball on his hands. Mitchell almost dares you to come inside where he stands on the plate. Schilling's one of those guys. He can get a ball inside because he has velocity. But guys that try to get inside on Mitchell and lack a little bit of velocity, boy, he fires that hip out and he'll hit it out of the ballpark. But you don't want to do it too often to him.
Bouncing the breaking ball up there, blocked nicely by Daulton. It's a full count.
Doesn't have a real good feel on his slider, as you said last inning. You know, he seems to be struggling with that pitch, and he tried to throw a perfect one then, as Johnny Padres looks on, and by trying to throw the perfect one, he kind of squeezed it a little bit and it bounced.
Full count to Kevin Mitchell. Larkin will be taking off from first base with 2 outs. This with a slider. Walked Mitchell for the second time, and that's the third walk given up by Schilling tonight. 2 men on base with 2 outs, and the batter will be Bobby Kelly. He walked his first time up.
Most walks in a game for Schilling this year is 3 against Atlanta on the 15th of this month. So he's equaled that.
Yeah. And we're in the third. Got the call on that slider. 1 strike. Two men on base with 2 outs. Foul out of play. 71 pitches thrown by Curt Schilling already. We're just in the third. That's a lot.
Phillies have had a lot of complete games lately, and their pitchers have been pitching, you know, a large number of innings. They're starters, but you get that high now this early in a game, and Johnny Padres and Jim Fregosi know that a complete game is probably not going to be likely tonight.
Chopped off the plate. Hollins is going to have to hurry and throws it a little wide. Safe at first is Kelly. And the bases are loaded again with Reds.
And once again for Milligan, too. Hollins, as Harry said, had to hurry, and he would have had Bobby Kelly if he'd have made a good throw. Ball's hit high in the air, a high chopper. Takes an extra step and then pulls Kruk off. Kruk saw right away that the throw was offline and went out and got it. Didn't try to make a foolish stretch and stay near the bag. That's a good play by Kruk.
Giving Kelly an infield single. That'll load the bases for Milligan, who takes one away for a ball.
Larkin broke then. And Schilling almost balked, but he wasn't on the rubber at that point. See, Schilling is more comfortable working from the windup in this situation.
One ball and one strike to Milligan. He lined out with the bases loaded his first time up.
The shot we had at Davey Johnson probably meant that he had been yelling out that he had balked. There's his new pitching coach, Don Gullett. Ray Knight, excuse me, standing there beside him. And he did not balk because he wasn't on the rubber.
Breaking ball, base hit, left field. Larkin scores. Here comes Mitchell. The throw to the plate is late. He scores. And the Reds take a 2-1 lead on a bases-loaded single by Randy Milligan.
Johnny Padres is out of the dugout. I think Bob Davidson must have thrown him out of the game. Here comes Fregosi out, too. Yep, Padres is out of the game. He was on his way out to talk to Schilling and must have said something, and Bob Davidson ran him.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, Johnny Padres has been ejected from this game.
First time for Padres this year.
Yeah.
Fergosi's going to continue the trip to the mound. Padres have been doing a little yelling about some pitches from the dugout, but I don't think Schilling's been that sharp, you know, to really blame Bob Davidson. Now, sooner or later, Schilling was going to get hurt. Milligan lined out the first time up with the bases loaded. Now, base hit in the hole to left field, 2-run score.
So Johnny Padres has been ejected from this game. I really haven't felt like Davidson's been pinching him that much.
No. I don't think Schilling's been sharp tonight at all, but Padres, you know, really sticks up for his pitchers.
Here's Reggie Sanders. He was safe on an error his first time up. One strike to Reggie Sanders.
No, this is just a situation where Schilling just ran out of luck. And, of course, if Hollins had made a better play, he might have gotten out of this inning.
Pops a foul, out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Reggie Sanders. Reds have taken a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Just missed with the breaking ball, 1-2.
Schilling's averaging 8 innings per start this year. That's how good he's been, and this is one of the few really struggling efforts he's had this season.
Struck him out. That will retire the side. 3rd strikeout for Schilling, but the Reds take the lead. 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits, no Philly errors, 2 men left. Rich Ashburn joins Chris Wheeler in the 4th after 3. It's 2-1 Cincinnati.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your proud to be your bud.
Make a note to make history when the Colorado Rockies come to town for the first time. Friday, June 4th, Saturday, June 5th, and get a big beach towel free 1:35 Sunday afternoon, June 6th. Then it's the Astros, June 7th, 8th, and 9th. Order your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
Massachusetts vacation. It's close to home, yet light years from the world you left behind. Look for your free Massachusetts Summer Getaway Guide at all CVS locations.
Well, the Heroes of Baseball game is coming up Saturday, June 19th at 7:35. Phillies and the Marlins, the 10th reunion of the 1983 National League champion Phillies. They'll be back to play a team of Major League All-Stars from the same year. Mike Schmidt, Tug McGraw, Gary Matthews, Gary Maddox, and lots more. The game begins at 6 o'clock, and it's compliments of Upper Deck. Just call your local Ticketmaster location. You can call by phone at the Phillies offices at 463-1000. John Kruk leads it off for the Phillies. Kruk, Hollins, and Dalton to face Belcher here in the fourth, and Rich Ashburn joins us.
Good ball game, a little wild so far.
Unlike Schilling, be as wild as he's been tonight. And the Phillies have kind of a tainted run off Tim Belcher in the first inning, an unearned run. He's been pitching well.
Yeah, and that strikeout double play, interference double play, that kind of hurt the Phillies.
Kruk takes it over for a strike. He knocked in the Phils one run in the first inning with a sacrifice fly. His 31st run batted, and there's Schilling.
Doesn't particularly like what he's done so far. He's been a little wild and gotten behind a lot of hitters.
And his pitching coach's history.
Yeah. He was history when he hit the chalk line.
Yeah, he said something to Davidson on his way out. He didn't even get across the chalk line. Johnny Padres was gone. Kruk takes it up high, in the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Belcher has walked 1 and struck out 1. Strikeout double play ended last inning. That's walk number 2 issued by Belcher. Kruk, a leadoff base runner here in the 4th inning for Hollins, who grounded to second his first time up. John Kruk now has been walked 40 times. He's up among the league leaders in that category, as a lot of Phillies are in walks.
Dalton leads.
Lenny Dykstra in there. Dave Hollins with 8 home runs and 43 runs batted in. And Belcher misses with a fastball 1-0. On deck is Dalton and then Jim Eisenreich to follow. Only 48 pitches for Tim Belcher compared to the high number for Schilling. Well, we had him up around near 80.
78. That's a lot for him.
For 4 innings. 3 innings, I mean. Well, the most he's walked in a game all year is 3, and he's tied that this evening in just 3 innings. Hollins pops it up. It's playable. Bransom, the third baseman, grabs it in fair territory, 1 away.
It's a little off-speed pitch that Belcher's throwing. It's slower and has a little sink to it.
Yeah, it's a changeup, and he's been using it really effectively, especially the left-handed batters. It gives him that pitch off speed that he needs to use on left-handed hitters, because he throws everything else pretty hard. Dalton grounded to Milligan, the first baseman, who flipped to Belcher his first time up there in 0 for 1, batting .247.
That's the pitch right there.
Dalton has a lifetime home run off Belcher, but he's just 5 for 26 lifetime off him with 6 runs batted in.
The 61st wedding anniversary. Frank and Teresa Randazzo in Oakland, New Jersey. Oakland, New Jersey.
2 balls and no strikes on Dalton with Kruk on at first base. And it's low, 3-0. Dalton will take a look at Larry Bowa to see if they're going to turn him loose. There's Bowa, went through the signs.
Touch has been hot. He might turn him loose.
He takes it low, ball 4. Walk number 3 issued by Belcher, second one in this inning. Darren Dalton leads the league in walks. That's number 45 for Dalton on the year. And here's Eisenreich. Jim getting a start in right field tonight. He popped to the third baseman Bransom his first time up. Bransom playing third tonight because Chris Sabo's bothered with a sore back. Fouled out of play, left side. It'll go to the crowd. Reds 2, Phillies 1. We're in the 4th.
John Hildebrand in Middletown, PA. 81 today.
The ball's on the strike on Eisenreich. Kruk at second, Dalton at first. Line drive off the glove of Larkin. A late start for Kruk, and they'll have to hold him at third. Larkin almost made a spectacular grab on that play, so the Phillies have him loaded with one out for Milt Thompson.
Yeah, nothing Kruk could do about that. I think Larkin even may have put a little leather on it. Kruk just couldn't risk the line drive double play. Here's the base hit. It's right off the end of the bat. A cue shot just ticked it.
Yeah, and as you say, I mean, Kruk has to stay there. He doesn't want to get doubled off second. So they're loaded for Thompson, who got an infield hit his first time up and went all the way to third on an error by Milligan, the first baseman, and he fouls it away.
They pitch Thompson high fastballs most of the time. Try to get him in on him. And he likes to swing at that pitch. Once in a while he hits it. Most of the time he hits it to the opposite field.
Milt has 16 runs batted in on the year. And he gets jammed and fouls it right into the Phillies dugout. So Belcher gets ahead of him 0-2. Bases loaded, one out, 2-1 in favor of Cincinnati here in the 4th inning. On deck is Kim Baptiste.
Well, Milt really has to be a good defensive hitter here. Keeps working him in.
Well, Thompson likes a ball away, as you're talking about. I mean, he's a guy, he likes a ball away to take the left field, and the other pitch he'll take back through the middle if he gets it in the middle of the plate. And you see the Reds set up in double play depth. He's battling Belcher, and Belcher keeps throwing strikes in.
They're not strikes, most of them. Most of them are a little high and maybe even a little inside. It's a great pitch to hit if you get the barrel of the bat out there. He's not getting the barrel of the bat out there quickly enough.
To Milligan, see if they can get two. Unlikely on Thompson. The Phillies will tie the game as Kruk scores on the 3-6 fielder's choice. Thompson with his 17th run batted in on the year, and the Phillies now have runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Well, to give Thompson his dues, he did put the ball in play, and he put it in play sharply to Milligan, the first baseman. And Milt is awfully hard to double on a ground ball like that.
And Milligan was playing all the way back, as you see, so he has really no shot to come home. He's got to go get the out at second, and that's all they're going to get. So here is Kim Baptiste. He grounded to shortstop his first time up. Darren Dalton now at third base, and Thompson on at first. Phillies in a 2-2 game with the Reds. Outside to Baptiste. Baptiste had a good weekend series. He's hit safely in 5 of his 6 starts that he's made at shortstop this year at a 308 clip. 5 for his last 12 coming into the game, which is a 417 clip. 0 for 1 tonight. Popped up foul out of play.
He's strong. They try to throw him the high fastballs up and in, and he has a hard time laying off those pitches sometimes.
Hit a home run yesterday in that wild game at Denver. Oh, we had a pitch to hit there and fouled it off. That one was middle in.
High breaking ball. It was up and And he had a pretty good cut, but he topped it.
Yeah, that's not where Belcher wanted to get that breaking ball. The count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Batiste. Fastball is up high, 2-2. On deck is Kurt Schilling. There are 2 outs. 2 walks in this inning have really hurt Belcher.
Just like they hurt Schilling in the bottom of the 3rd.
Fly ball, shallow right field. Reggie Sanders right there. He grabs it, and that'll do it for the Phillies in the 4th. They tie the game with a run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. We're tied at 2.
In the darkest hour, their actions can mean the difference between life and death, even your own.
We've got a helicopter coming in for the injured parties.
Ride along with these real-life heroes.
The suspect is traveling approximately 110 to 120 miles per hour.
The men and women of our nation's highway patrol in an explosive new series that puts you behind the wheel 5 nights a week. Real stories of the Highway Patrol.
Weeknights at 7:30 on PHL 17.
Jim Florio said he would do something about New Jersey's economy. He did. He raised taxes $2.8 billion, which destroyed our economy. 400,000 jobs lost, the highest unemployment in the nation, and now Jim Florio says he won't rule out even higher taxes. Is it any wonder over half our state wants to move out? Fed up with Florio?
Look, a rainbow! Where? Over there! Where? Oh, there! Don't you see it? I can, through my Panasonic Palm Quarter color viewfinder.
Where? I hardly noticed it through my black and white viewfinder, but I'm sure I got it on tape.
Great, let's go see. Do your camcorder tapes play in a VHS recorder?
No.
Oh, well, my palm quarter tapes will.
Oh.
Why didn't you just get a palm quarter?
I don't know.
The choice is obvious. The Panasonic Palm Quarter. Its tapes will play in your VCR.
Good evening. I'm Neil Hartman with a sports break. In the American League, only 1 game still in progress. Kansas City's just scored a couple of runs at Fenway. It's 3-1 in the 4th inning. Baltimore behind Musina's 7th win, 3-1 over Oakland this afternoon. Toronto 10, California 5-5. Blue Jay home runs in that one. Texas shut out Minnesota 1-0. New York won their 4th run this afternoon, 8-2 over Cleveland. It's 2-2. They're going to the bottom of the 4th at Riverfront. Let's send it back now to Wheels and Richie in Cincinnati.
All right, Neil Hartman, thank you very much. It is a 2-2 ball game. Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds, first game of this 3-game series. Catcher Joe Oliver will lead it off. He's batting out of the 8-hole. Then to Tim Belcher in the top of the order, Bip Roberts. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Reds 2, 3, and 1 Phillies. Both Belcher and Schilling have walked 3 batters apiece, as Whitey just mentioned. It's hurt both of them.
It's great pitcher's night, though, with this nice, cool weather. They ought to stay strong.
Except Schilling's pitch total is way too high heading into the 4th inning. He needs an easy inning somewhere. Oliver struck out on a high fastball his first time up. Hit well to right, but Eisenreich's right there. Waits, 1 away.
That's what he needs, a 2-pitch out.
Yeah, exactly.
3 of those.
He needs a couple innings like that to, to hang in there. Jim Fragosi's a firm believer, and there's a certain number of nights you go out there as a starting pitcher, even when you're one of the best, and Schilling is now, where you just don't have your good stuff, and you have to pitch and battle through it. Belcher hits it on 1 hop to Morandini. That's the kind of inning we're talking about. 2 outs.
2 outs, 3 pitches.
'33 Baseball Cap Day is coming up. Phil's and the Marlins on Sunday, June the 20th. It's a terrific continuation of the nostalgia-style Phillies baseball caps. This year's model from the 33 uniforms. And it's compliments of Texaco, free for all men 15 and over. Just call 463-1000 or stop by any one of your local Ticketmaster locations. That's a baseball hat from 1933 on Sunday, June the 20th. Bip Roberts, he'll take a pitch. That's automatic. Trying not to give Schilling an easy inning. Bip has singled, was caught stealing, and he lined to short. He's hit it hard twice tonight. Schilling has had a little trouble with his breaking ball tonight. He misses with one there, 1-1. Leon Bip Roberts, originally signed by Pittsburgh, 2-1. Schilling looks like he has a good fastball, but just doesn't have touch on his off-speed pitches.
Been behind Bip Roberts all 3 times that he's faced him.
3-1 pitch on the way, and he walked him on 4 pitches. Walk number 4 issued by Schilling. That's a season high for Schilling.
I guess Fregosi is his own pitching coach now. Menke and Vukovic, they don't do much with the pitchers, and Jim could probably be his own pitching coach, but he has a good one in Johnny Padres.
Ransom fouls it off. Well, Fregosi at one time in the Phillies organization, before he was named manager, was a roving pitching instructor for the ball club, and this from a guy who was a shortstop when he played, a shortstop third baseman.
Yeah, I think he did that because he wanted to. He wanted to find out more about pitching. As Bob Gibson once told Tim McCarver, the only thing you know about pitching is that you can't hit it. That's not exactly true of Timmy. Timmy was a pretty good hitter.
Darn right he was. Fregosi told me one time, Whitey, that when he was first manager with California, he knew nothing about pitching, having been a position player, and he realized that to be a successful major league manager, you must know how to handle your pitchers. So as a result, he decided to be a student of pitching and has become one. Looper to left field. Thompson coming on. He can't get it. They'll keep it in front of him. Roberts to third. Thompson throws to the right base and keeps Bransom at first. So they have runners at the corners now with 2 outs for Barry Larkin.
Hit a little off-speed pitch to Thompson. Thompson did the right thing, held the runner at first. So Schilling got 2 outs on 3 pitches, and now he's involved in another inning where he has to throw a lot of pitches against a pretty good hitter here, and Larkin, who has 2 hits, 2 for 2 tonight.
You know, it may seem silly to talk about it, but positively, but the Phillies outfielders throw to the right bases this year. You know, you should throw to the right bases, but it didn't happen last year. And as a result, they keep the force in order now on Bransom, who had struck out his first 2 times up. Larkin's 2 for 2. Fastball over for a strike.
Sometimes last year they didn't throw to any base. They just missed them all.
That's right.
It's hard to miss all 4 bases.
They didn't keep that double play or the force in order a lot last year. Outfield play for the Phillies defensively this year has been a big plus. Strike 2. He gets ahead of him with fastballs, and that's his best pitch tonight because he's really scuffling with his off-speed stuff.
He's had Larkin thinking that, you know, he's going to see that slider. He hasn't seen it yet.
So he gets ahead of him 0-2. See how he goes here. 2 on, 2 outs.
It was a slider. It was a good pitch. It was low, but a good 2-strike pitch. Sometimes the hitter will chase that one that's down there around the ankles.
And Larkin used to chase that pitch a lot. He doesn't now. When he first came up, you could really get him to chase those. There's another one. Weakly hit to Batiste. He'll step on second base, and Schilling is out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Reds leave 2. We're through 4 and tied at 2.
It's out there. Tonight's winning daily number is out there. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and play it. The Pennsylvania Lottery's daily number. Don't forget to play every day.
Skyrocketing costs of endangered health care.
The American deserves deserves coverage.
While Washington works to reform health care,
Benefits should focus on keeping...
Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield introduced the new Personal Choice, a revolutionary health plan that offers people the benefits of an HMO and the freedom of a traditional plan.
We must make smart choices, gentlemen.
So why wait for an act of Congress when you can get a better health care plan right now? Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
You can feel it deep inside. You're the one with a real sense of pride, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Phillies took a 1-0 lead in the first on a Morandini single. Stolen base, throwing error by the catcher. Sacrifice fly by John Kruk. Cincinnati with 2 in the third on a bases loaded 2-out single by Randy Milligan. Phillies tied it here in the fourth on a walk single, and a ground out by Milt Thompson scored the tying run.
And Curt Schilling, the batter, hits a wicked foul, as he normally does the other way. He's a late swinger. Fielded out there by Reggie Sanders. The count, no balls and 2 strikes on Schilling leading off the inning. He'll be followed by Lenny Dykstra and Mickey Morandini. What he just gave you the score, 2-2. We're in the 5th. Belcher has only struck out 1 batter. That was on that weird strikeout double play in the 3rd inning that short-circuited a possible Phillies rally. Little looper into right field and a base hit for Schilling. Schilling picks up his 5th hit of the year. Looked like he hit a breaking ball right off the end of the bat, and he's on to lead off the inning.
That pitch was down around his ankles, a 2-strike hit, little chip shot off the end of the bat, and Belcher will be a little disgusted with himself for not putting Schilling away with that 2-strike count.
And Dykstra, the batter. Lenny's grounded out sharply to Milligan at first and walked. Hit number 4 for the Phillies. Way inside to Dykstra. They are really pitching him in tonight. Lenny's standing right on top of the plate.
This fella has the face of an angel, doesn't he? He really does.
Yeah. I've never heard Lenny called an angel before.
No, he just has the face of an angel.
That's hit hard. Oh, what a play by Milligan. And they got a double play out of that. 3-6-3 double play. He can't believe it. That ball was hit hard right down the line.
And that was a bullet. Milligan got it on kind of a half hop, and Dykstra did not get out of the batter's box.
Yeah, and a heck of a job by Larkin, because a shortstop can't use his legs much on that play. It's an all-arm throw, and that's what he used, his very strong arm to get him. So quickly, 2 outs and nobody on base for Morandini. Mickey has an infield single, has scored a run, and was involved in that strikeout double play his last time up. He was the batter.
It's a real break for Belcher. That, you know, that could have been extra bases. Instead of double play, nobody on.
And it would have been extra bases if Milligan hadn't been holding the runner on. There's Dykstra, that face of an angel. To tell him you said that, he'll like that one. Strike called on a breaking ball to Morandini. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL-TV, Philadelphia.
And Morandini swings and misses at a high pitch. Strikeout number 2 for Belcher. Both on Morandini. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. To the bottom of the 5th, 2-2.
The big Ford pickup. It's the #1 truck in the world. Now F-Series pickups come with the best roadside service program available. Preferred Care, with 24-hour, 7-day-a-week assistance, all at no extra charge. Plus, you can qualify for an extra $500 cash back if you work for a business or own a business. Your savings total $1,800. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
You better hit the ground running in a new Ford truck.
Yo, Phillies fans, here's the pitch. You, the Phillies, San Diego. It's the Jiffy Lube Coca-Cola Phillies road trip. Go to Jiffy Lube and you could win an all-expense-paid trip for 4 to the Phillies-Padres game in sunny San Diego. Round-trip airfare, deluxe hotel accommodations, and meals are all included. But hey, you can't win if you don't enter at any participating Jiffy Lube before June 30th.
It's the 10th reunion of the National League champs. The 83 Phillies play an 83 All-Star team Saturday, June 19th, 6 p.m. in the Heroes of Baseball game, compliments of Upper Deck. Before the Phillies play the Marlins at 7:35. Call 463-1000.
My deepest condolences.
You look just like your mother.
Oh, God.
Tomorrow at 5:30 on PHL 17. PHL 17 joins in remembering all who've died for our country.
Tonight's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide Insurance agent in Morton is Christopher Lamoureux. And by your Quality Plus Ford dealers who invite you to come in and test drive the brand new 1993 Probe. To the bottom of the 5th inning, Kevin Mitchell, Bobby Kelly, and Randy Milligan. There's a look at our booth from center field. On a chilly night here.
54, I believe, at the start of the game. It was beautiful here yesterday. I don't know where this came from.
Might have been those thunderstorms we came bumping through when we landed last night. Mitchell swings and misses. He's walked twice and scored a run.
Last 2 flights we've had going west to east have been a little shaky.
They've been bumpy, that's for sure. That one was really shaking for a while last night. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kevin Mitchell. Mitchell has really bounced around. Hit the deep right field, but right there is Eisenreich as he hit that off the end of the bat. Eisenreich grabs it for the first time tonight. Schilling has retired Mitchell 1 away here in the 5th.
Guy that's been on Schilling tonight has been Milligan with that line drive. He lined out with the bases loaded in the 1st inning and then got the 2-run single with the 2-out bases loaded in the 3rd.
Here's Kelly, who has walked and gotten on an infield hit. Hits it high in the air in the infield to Morandini. Eisenreich comes in and Morandini stays with it, 2 down.
Schilling is a workhorse. He can throw a lot of pitches, and he has thrown a lot of pitches. And he'll pitch just as long and as hard as he can.
Well, as much as he struggled tonight, it's 2-2. I mean, that's what he does for you. He keeps you in ball games. Milligan has been up twice tonight with the bases loaded. First time up lined sharply to center and then got a 2-run single for the Reds, 2 runs, and he fouls this one off right side. That is 100 pitches for Schilling. Had, 78 through 3. .62 strikes so far, and there's another one, and Milligan swings and misses at a breaking ball. Schilling has his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left through 5. We're still tied at 2.
This is your world, genuine and true. You're the one who keeps coming through, 'cause you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
What could 4 minutes cost if your 800 service goes down? If you're big in the travel business, $240,000. But with us, nobody misses the boat. Introducing the AT&T 800 service Never Miss a Call guarantee. Now, if there's a problem, we can reroute your calls in less than a second. Sign up for the Never Miss a Call guarantee. It's the #1 reason with AT&T 800 service. It's always smooth sailing. AT&T, the best in the business, guaranteed.
New Neapolitan pizza from Pizza Hut tastes so authentic, it's fooling everyone.
It's from Carlos on 10th.
The Lucas on 2nd.
Rosanio's on Church.
From Sal's on Liberty. See? Hand-stretched dough, rich tomato sauce, and whole milk mozzarella.
I can tell by the sauce.
This cheese is talking.
The sauce is a dead giveaway.
Oh, you want to go to Sal's? You go way down. You got it, but you can't walk. Get 1 large Neapolitan pizza for just $7.99 or 2 for $11.99 every day at Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut? Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
I was going to say that. I didn't want to, blurt it right out,
Well, after 5, the starters are in, and both of them struggling a little bit. Belcher has given up 4 hits. Schilling's given up 6. Belcher tonight has walked 3 batters and struck out 2. Schilling's starting to pick it up a little bit now. He now has 6 strikeouts to go along with a season-high 4 walks in a 2-2 ball game. To the top of the 6th inning, John Kruk, Dave Hollins, and Darren Dalton for the Phillies. Kruk tonight, a perfect night. He knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning, his 31st run batted in. And John walked and scored the tying run in the 4th. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. Cincinnati 2-4-1 Phillies. Fouled away left side. After the rocket ball, Whitey, we've seen the last 3 days, this is more like a normal baseball game, huh?
Well, Phillies hitters just feasted out there.
Yeah, that was different. The light air and the bad pitching.
In the short left field fence.
Kruk takes it high. 1 ball and 1 strike on John Kruk. Kruk at 369 as we take a look at the Phillies bench. They're pretty much right-handed in there now tonight. Only Juan Bell, the switch hitter, could come up left-handed, as Jim Fregosi starting mostly left-handed hitters against the tough right-hander Belcher. Belcher had the best batting average against right-handed hitters in the league last year at 178, and this year right-handed hitters hitting just 200 against him. Fouled back into the upper deck behind the plate, dropped by a fan that heads back down into the crowd. Tim Belcher's averaged 200+ innings his last 5 years. He's been a real workhorse. Pitching for the Dodgers for a number of years, and now over here at Cincinnati. And the pitch is high to Kruk outside. He was the first player taken by the Twins in the '83 draft. Did not sign. Then #1 by the Yankees in January of '84, but never played for them. Pitch to Kruk. Pop-up foul out of play. Kansas City A's finally got him in compensation in February of '84 after losing Tommy Underwood to Baltimore. Old friend Tom Underwood. Saw him in Florida this year. He's part of a fantasy camp for the Toronto Blue Jays. And Kruk walks again. That is walk number 4 issued tonight by Belcher, and the Phillies have their leadoff man on again for the 3rd straight inning. There's Don Gullett, who's the new pitching coach for the Reds. Last time we saw Cincinnati, he was the bullpen coach.
He was a fine left-hand pitcher, Don Gullett. He's a good hitter, too.
Pitched the first playoff game against the Phillies in 1976 at the Vet and beat them. That was the year of the Big Red Machine when they did not lose in postseason play. Here's Hollins, and the pitch to Hollins is outside, ball 1. Dave is grounded to second, pop to third. He's 0 for 2, batting at .303. Reds have the infield at double play depth, playing him up the middle. And Belcher a little out of whack in this inning, and Joe Oliver is going to go out and have a talk with him. 2-0.
Looks like he's trying to be a little too fine with these pitches right now. He's trying to make perfect pitches on that outside corner or just off the corner, and he's missing them. He was hitting some of those earlier.
How about early in the game, White, he had shirt sleeves on. It's chilly here tonight. Yeah. Now he's gone to the long sleeves.
course, the Reds have gone back to their old uniforms, the sleeveless uniforms.
Boy, a lot of great old players played Cincinnati in those uniforms.
Ted Kluszewski.
Yep. Hollins takes it down low, 3-0, and he looks at Boa for a sign.
Klue had arms as big as my legs, and he'd wear those. He'd wear them bare.
He was proud of those guns, and he should have been.
Passed away a few years ago.
Hollins taking all the way, and it's over for a strike. Kruk a short lead off first. 3 balls and 1 strike on Hollins with Darren Daulton on deck. We're in a 2-2 game here in the 6th inning. Ball 4, he walked him. Walk number 5. Belcher walked 5 the first time he faced the Phillies this year with no strikeouts, and now he's walked 5 tonight. And here comes Daulton, who is grounded out and walked. Phillies now with 205 walks as a ball club, which leads the league by a lot.
Well, Dutch doesn't want to walk. He wants to hit something. He wants to move the runners, preferably with a base hit.
On deck is Eisenreich. Fouled away left side.
A good pitch to hit. He was just behind it. That's one of the few pitches that Belcher has come inside with. He's been mostly working the outside part. Came in on Dutch there.
Kruk at second, Hollins at first. Nobody out here in the 6th inning in a 2-2 ball game. There are the base runners. Breaking ball missed low, 1-1. They're playing Daulton to pull in the outfield. Bobby Kelly shading him towards right center. There you see the center fielder. Mitchell well off the line and left. Up the middle with the shortstop Larkin. Strike 2 called, 1-2.
Good pitch there by Belcher, down and away. Not a good pitch to try to pull. Those are the ones you hit into double play sometimes when you try to pull it.
Then Belcher had his sign, started into the stretch, and then decided to step off and start over again. Daulton leading the league in runs batted in with 45 of them. 14 homers for Darren. The pitch. 2-2.
He's trying to make the perfect pitch there, low and away. He got it too much away, a little too low.
Tim Belcher, now 31 years of age, hails from Sparta, Ohio. It's like coming home for him. Strike 3 called. He struck him out looking. Daulton can't believe it.
Pitch was outside, and Davidson called it a strike. It missed by 3 or 4 inches, but that's far enough that it should be called a ball. Watch Oliver catch this ball. See, in fact, it probably missed more than 4 or 5 inches, but that's a tough call.
Jim Eisenreich, the batter, he's popped up and had a single off the glove of Larkin, the shortstop. Hard ground ball off Belcher's leg and into left field. A hit. Kruk is going to score. Here goes Hollins to third, and the Phillies will lead it 3-2 as Belcher deflected that ball with his leg into the outfield.
And Jim Eisenreich picked up the Phillies with that stinging ground ball. That must have stung Belcher anyway on the foot, allowing Kruk to score and Hollins all the way to third. Milt Thompson with a chance to do some more damage.
And Thompson has knocked in a run tonight on an infield out. He's also picked up an infield hit. Ball inside. Eisenreich on at first base. Jimmy knocking in his 10th run of the year.
Eisenreich's second hit of the night. That's the one thing he's able to do, is come off the bench, it seems, and keep his stroke.
And Chamberlain played very well over the weekend, but the reason Eisenreich's playing tonight is because how tough Belcher is on right-handed hitters. Thompson hits it hard to Milligan. They're going to come home. It's a tag play. Safe. Milligan messed that play up. Oliver really had no chance. Run scores, and it's now 4-2. We'll see how they score that.
Well, that's a fielder's choice, obviously. He had an easy out at first. He even, for a split second, I think he thought about going to second. No, he didn't either. He looked all the way. He hesitated, though. Should have came up firing because he waited too long, and Hollins ran right by the play.
Yeah, if you're going to come home, you got to throw right away. Once he hesitated, he was a dead duck on that play. Good base running by the Phillies. And they have 2 runs in the inning. Thompson with his second run batted into the game. Here's Batiste, who hits it just off to our left and out of play.
Both those walks have scored.
There goes the left-hander Wickander starting to throw.
Thompson will get his second RBI of the game. Both of them ground balls.
That's a total of 18 for him. Kevin Wickander starting to loosen as Batiste fouls it back. Wickander was acquired by Cincinnati from the Cleveland Indians on the 7th of May for a player to be named later. There's the left-hander. 6'3", 200-pounder.
Davey Johnson, Ray Knight, left the golf tour to take this job.
Saw Nancy Lopez at the hotel today. Fouled away. Came walking through the lobby with 2 golf bags.
Carrying her own bag?
No. She wasn't carrying her own bags.
Now that her husband's not her caddy anymore.
She was in that skins contest yesterday. I think she won about $110,000.
$110,000.
Yep, there's Ray Knight.
Won all that on the first day.
Yep. Coming home. I did good, honey. Good to see you. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kurt Schilling waiting on deck. Phillies with a couple runs in the inning, and they lead it now 4-2. Struck him out on a high breaking ball. The down on strikes goes Batiste. Strikeout number 4 for Belcher. And there are 2 outs for Schilling. Well, the Phillies return to face a Colorado Rockies. You want to be around to see those Rockies come into town on Friday, June the 4th. Then photo night Saturday, June 5th. Beach Towel Day on Sunday, June 6th. Then the Houston Astros there in contention in the National League West. They'll be in for 3 night games Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those games begin at 7:35. Call 463-1000 for your tickets. Schilling has a base hit tonight and 2 at-bats, and he swings and misses. Phillies doing a good job of producing runs tonight and making Belcher pay for mistakes with walks. It's a bad defense. There's 1 foul just below us. Showing 5 hits on the year. He had 92. Eisenreich at second, Thompson at first. 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Phillies are out in the inning, but they pick up 2 runs to break the tie. 2 runs on just 1 hit. No errors, and they'll leave 2. To the bottom of the 6th inning. Phillies 4 and the Reds 2.
Presenting the magnificent 1993 Cadillac Fleetwood with its distinctive all-new aerodynamic styling. The 93 Fleetwood is longer and is the most spacious American sedan on the road with very important features like dual front airbags, anti-lock brakes, and traction control, all standard, and it's incredibly quiet within. Buy now, and you'll get a $2,000 bonus direct from Cadillac. Don't miss this limited time offer. See your Cadillac Super Network dealer now.
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want 2 things from my pain-relieving rub: fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for fast relief and no odor.
When this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, on the roof, the only place I know.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space.
To make it so
British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
Tonight's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Bell Atlantic Mobile, advanced technology and people who make it mean something. 4 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Phillies. Now 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Reds. As we look at Tim Belcher, who's probably finished for the evening. He's due to bat third in the inning, and he trails by 2 runs. It's kind of a funny outing for him tonight, Whitey, and his control hurt him again.
Yeah, the walks hurt him, of course. Phillies have scored 4 runs, 3 on infield ground balls, 1 on a sacrifice fly, so he wasn't really belted around that much. But that's carelessness, I guess, on his part. Usually you don't score off him like that.
Walked 5 the first time he faced the Phillies this year. Fly ball deep left center field by Sanders. This ball is gone. A home run, Reggie Sanders. His 8th home run of the year, and now it's a 4-3 game. The Phillies lead it by 1.
I tell you, this kid has power. He can jerk a ball like that. He doesn't always look good at the plate, but he hit a high fastball and he nailed it.
Did he ever nail it? See if that keeps Belcher in the game. Now they're only down by 1 of the Reds. Joe Oliver, who struck out and flied out. Sanders had been 0 for 2. Up the middle. Morandini has time to get Oliver, and he got him. Good play by Morandini with a catcher running. And there's 1 down. And here comes Belcher.
There's a time when guys who can't run say, boy, there's the ball that Sanders hit. That was up there around the letters, and he really turned on it. But Oliver, how many times has he said, if I just had 1 more step?
See, you went through your whole career not having to say that, so you can empathize with those kind of guys. Well, it's hard to say whether Belcher was going to lead the game or not. We thought he was with down by 2, but now down by just 1. He stays in.
Yeah, I think that run made the difference. Davey Johnson will do that. He's just taken over this club a week ago today.
Well, you got to show confidence in your starters because they're the pitchers that get you to places. Fregosi does that with his starters, that's for sure. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Belcher with Bip Roberts on deck. Outside. That home run ball issued by Schilling is his 8th of the year. That's a staff high. 2-2 to Belcher. Popped up foul. Just over our heads and into the upper deck. They come up here in a hurry. Here we look at the bench. Reggie Sanders there in the middle next to Oliver. Belcher swings and misses at a fastball. He's out on strikes for the 2nd time tonight, and that is strikeout number 7 for Curt Schilling. To the top of the order, and Leon Bip Roberts 1 for 2 with a walk. Reds have now out-hit the Phillies 7-5, but the Phils lead by a run, 4-3. Roberts takes it high. He's been working the count all night and been ahead all night.
Doesn't have much of a strike zone, and he has a pretty good eye. I would say that Schilling is laboring a little bit now.
Absolutely. Well over 100 pitches here in the 6th inning. This is one of those hang-in-there games for him. That's why he's a good pitcher, though. Fly ball left field, playable for Thompson near the line. Waits, grabs it, and that'll do it. In the 6th inning, a run on 1 hit. Reggie Sanders homer. No run or no errors and nobody left on base. Harry Cal is back to join Whitey for play-by-play in the 7th. The score, the Phillies 4 and the Reds 3.
There's a new feeling sweeping the state, peace of mind. Because now people who couldn't afford health coverage can get special care from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It's the most affordable coverage available to families and individuals who earn too much for Medicaid but can't afford coverage on their own. If you're uninsured, Your peace of mind is just a phone call away. Call 1-800-248-5200.
Come see castles and knights. Explore legends, be bold. Conquer dragons, cross countries, hear tales being told. Adventures waiting, there's no time to waste. Come see, come conquer, there's only one place. Lore's Gardens, the nearby faraway place. Lore's Gardens, Williamsburg, come see, conquer.
When you move into a new house, little things are going to come up. Unexpected things. Things the previous owner forgot to mention. So to make your new house a home, turn to the book with more choices. It can even help if you want to get out of the house for a while. But you'll learn Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bella Panting Company.
Bring your camera and take up-close pictures of your favorite Phillies on Kodak Photo Night, Saturday, June 5th, before the Phillies play the all-new expansion team, the Colorado Rockies, at 7:05. Reserve your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
Seventh inning baseball, Harry Callis. Harry.
After 6 innings of play, it's 4-3, Phil's lead. Tomorrow at 6:30, Al accidentally shoots the neighbor's dog on Married with Children, only on PHL 17. Lenny Dykstra leads it off. Dykstra's grounded out, walked, and grounded into a double play. Into right center field. Bobby Kelly is right there, makes the grab. Look at this game, Whitey, and the Phils really are fortunate to have a 4-3 lead. Phillies really against Belcher have only hit about 2 or 3 balls hard the whole night.
Yeah, the walks have hurt him. Both starting pitchers have scuffled here, and they're both still in there. Give the pitchers, I guess, a little credit for reaching back, trying to get a little extra.
Foul ball by Morandini, who has singled, stolen a base, and scored a run, and he has struck out twice. Fouls it out of play. 0-2.
Dalton hoping he'll get a shot here in this inning.
One ball and 2 strikes. Close, just missing a little bit wide. 2-2.
There was a pitch that he called Dalton out on.
Yeah.
Pretty good umpire, though. Bob Davidson usually gives you a good job.
It's a full count.
All National League umpires work off the inside part of the plate, and that they've always been open to a little criticism on that because sometimes they can't see the outside part.
To Bip Roberts, Morandini is retired. That's 2 down. Both pitchers have thrown a lot of pitches tonight. Belcher has walked 5 and struck out 5. Schilling has struck out 7 and walked 4. Here's John Kruk. He's hit a sacrifice fly and has walked twice. He scored 2 runs. And has not been at bat officially. One strike to Kruk. He had a cut, didn't come up with it. 0-2. out of play into the upper deck. Missing high, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kruk. Checked on the high fastball. Bob Davidson was ready to ring him up, but Kruk kept his hands back, and John McSherry.
Yeah, he flicked the bat, but he didn't really let it move much, and that's what saved him.
Hard ground ball. Nice grab by Bip Roberts, and he throws Kruk out, and that will retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Stretch time at Riverfront. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Phil's lead 4-3.
On the next Time Tracks, a brilliant criminal from 2193 is loose in 1993. Stop zombie before he makes another shipment. And only a cop from the future can prevent a nuclear disaster. A race against the clock on Time Tracks. And a setup for murder puts Kane behind bars. He escaped. Now he must find the real killer before the streets explode with vengeance. I am here. On the next Kung Fu, the legend continues.
Wednesday beginning at 8 on PHL 17.
For the first time ever, the expansion Florida Marlins come to the Fed Thursday, June 17th and Friday, June 18th. Then the Upper Deck Heroes play Saturday, June 19th before the Marlins game. And it's a free vintage 1933 baseball cap for all men, Sunday, June 20th at 1:35. Order your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. It's easy to make it happen.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil with the Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Tip. What percent of heart attack victims don't believe they're having a heart attack? 50%? 70%? 90%? 90% of the heart attack victims dismiss the symptoms of heart attack, often mistaking it for heartburn, indigestion, or stress.
Jeff Branson leads off for Cincinnati here in the bottom of the 7th. He has twice struck out and singled. Takes it over for a strike. Showing a lot of strikeouts, 7 tonight. Moved up to 4th in the league in the strikeouts. That's well struck, but right at Dykstra. 1 down. Bring on Barry Larkin. He's 2 out of 3, has twice singled and hit into a fielder's choice. Got the slider over for a strike.
Schilling's pitching better now than he did early in terms of his location. Woo.
Wanted that one. Didn't get it.
Dalton's really all over Davidson, too, and the dugout's on him. Dalton's really giving it to him. He doesn't turn around. That shows him up when you turn around. But he's jawing at him. He's still jawing at him.
Messing with a slider, 2-1.
His touch was called out on a pitch. It was a bad pitch, and he just wants equal time, I guess.
Top foul out of play, 2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Barry Larkin with 1 out, no base runners here in the 7th. Phil's lead 4-3. Another foul ball, right field side. Still 2-2.
Schilling's a war horse. He'll battle, win or lose. Ooh.
Schilling wanted it. It's full count.
Dalton's on him again. I think the dugout's on him again. Yeah, Dalton is really on him. Dalton is beside himself.
Well, Dutch doesn't get involved in that much with umpires, but he certainly is tonight.
What do you think of that?
Well, that's about where the location of the pitch where Dalton was called out was, low and away.
That was a lot better.
Chop to third. Hollins good. Oh, safe at first base. Rules Bill Hahn. Hollins rifled it. A great scoop by Kruk, and I think Hahn might have missed that one. Kruk rarely complains, and now Jim Fregosi is out. Kruk pretty much knows when he has a base runner at first, and he definitely thought he had Larkin.
Fregosi's flirting with getting tossed out. He's going to get it if he doesn't lay off.
Johnny Padres has already been ejected.
He's about to go. Yeah. Oh, he backed off. Take a look at it. Hollins made a good play. He made a low throw, but Kruk fielded it cleanly. Let's see.
Oh,
yeah. It was close, but he was out. Phillies have had some problems with a couple umpires in this crew.
Here's Kevin Mitchell. 1 strike. Mitchell has twice walked and flied to right. Phillies are going to get Larry Anderson up in the bullpen. Well, hit to right, but Eisenreich is there. Makes the grab. Mitchell out. 2 down, and that'll bring up Bobby Kelly. Kelly's walk has an infield single and has popped up. Larkin, as many times as he's been on base, has not attempted to steal tonight, which is a little bit surprising. He's stolen 11 out of 12 attempts this year.
Not one of those, 50 base stealers a year, but he steals for a good percentage.
One strike to Kelly. Larkin at first with 2 down.
This would certainly be the time to try to steal.
1-1.
Bobby Valentine going through that series of signs.
Up and in, 2-1. Bills lead by a run, 4-3. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Fouls it back. 2-2.
That's Kelly's long ball pitch, a high fastball. He had a good cut, fouled it back. I think Schilling would like to have him hit a slider or something away.
Hard good ground ball, but it's at Morandini, who gobbles it up and throws him out to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 8th. Phil's lead 4-3.
When this whole world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face. All of the only place I know.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space. British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
What could a minute cost if your 800 service goes down? If you're a player on Wall Street, $910,000. But with us, you're always in the game. Introducing the AT&T 800 service Never Miss a Call Guarantee. Now if there's a problem, we can reroute your calls in less than a second. Sign up for the Never Miss a Call Guarantee. It's the #1 reason AT&T 800 service is always the smartest play. AT&T, the best in the business. Guaranteed.
Tonight's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by the Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. And by AT&T. Because you're not the same as anybody else. There's the I-Plan. Dave Hollins leads off. He's grounded out, popped up, walked, and scored a run.
The Phillies 4-5-1. The Reds 3-8-2. And the odd thing about this game is that Dykstra, Kruk, Hollins, and Dalton have no hits. And after what we just left in Colorado, that's hard to believe. Sanders has hit a home run, the only home run of the game for Cincinnati. But the Phils lead it 4-3.
It would appear, Whitey, because of the pitch count of Kurt Schilling, that might have been his last inning in the 7th. Larry Anderson stays up in the Phillies bullpen. Schilling has thrown an awful lot of pitches tonight.
I agree with you, but I would be very surprised if he comes out. He won't come out because he wants to. You can bet on that. But Anderson seems to be warming up in earnest.
Ball and 2 strikes to Hollins. Fouls it back. Phil's hold a 4-3 lead, although have been out hit 8-5. Walks have hurt Belcher. He's walked 5, and 3 of them have scored. Now has 6 strikeouts.
Hollins chased a bad pitch. That was the off-speed pitch, way outside, a foot outside. All just kept running away from him.
Brings on Darren Dalton, who was grounded out, walked, and was called out on strikes. Fouls it back and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dalton. $25,676 the paid crowd here tonight. Ball and 2 strikes to Dalton. Phils haven't had many games where they didn't get an extra base hit, have they? Phils lead the league in doubles. All 5 of the Phillies' hits tonight have been singles. There's a hit for Dalton. Phil's 6th hit, another single, and the batter will be Jim Eisenreich, who's certainly been a factor tonight. He's 2 for 3.
Yeah, the bottom of the order has done most of the damage. Eisenreich a single and an RBI. He's put some runners in scoring in a position to score on ground balls. Milt Thompson has 2 RBIs on ground balls. Jeff Reardon. Eisenreich says when he hits, keep it simple. He really keeps it simple. No movement.
Reardon joined by the left-hander Kevin Wickander. Strike to Eisenreich. Another hit for Eisenreich, his 3rd. Solid single to left. Dalton will stop at 2nd. And the Phils with 2 men on base and 1 out for Milt Thompson.
See how he laid the bat on that ball? He just leveled off nicely, hit it where it was pitched to the opposite field. Davey Johnson's coming out now.
It's going to go to the left-hander, which kind of surprised me because I would imagine Pete Incaviglia might come in.
I would think so. He can play defensively too.
Yeah, Inky's getting the jacket off very quickly. He's calling on Wickander. Well, this will be it for Belcher. Pete Incaviglia getting ready to pinch hit. Pitching change for the Reds. We're in the 8th. It's 4-3 Phils. Back after these messages.
It's often taken for granted, yet it's as precious as the very air we breathe. It's called freedom. And it's what inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new Personal Choice, a health plan that offers people the low costs of an HMO without asking them to give up what they value most, their freedom. Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
It's like having a Phillies ticket window come right to your home. Call 463-1000 and reserve your tickets in advance. No rushing, no waiting, no hassle. 463-1000. It's like having a Phillies ticket window right in your home.
Kevin Wickander, the left-hander, a 28-year-old, is the new pitcher, 6'3", a 200-pounder. They got him from the Cleveland Indians for a player to be named later earlier this month. He was 0-0 for Cleveland, 4.15 ERA in 11 games. And for Cincinnati, this will be his 6th appearance. No wins, no losses, no saves, a 4.05 earned run mark. Pete Incaviglia, as expected, will bat for Milt Thompson. Thompson leaves the game 1 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. And Incaviglia, who's had great production per at-bat, hitting at 281. He has 32 hits and has knocked in 32 runs. Tim Belcher has to Wonder what happened. Gave up 7 singles, and he leaves the game trailing 4-3. The Phillies really have not hit many balls hard tonight. Walks really hurt him, though. 5 walks, 3 of them scored.
Pete coming off that 4-hit game. Had a bases-loaded triple yesterday.
As a pinch hitter, he's 3 for 6 with 2 runs batted in. One ball and no strikes. And no strikes. Got that one over. 2-1.
2-0 slider. All 3 pitches have been breaking balls, so must be what he does best. Off speed.
Balls and a strike. Kim Baptiste waits on deck. Larry Anderson is no longer up in the bullpen, so Schilling might still be in this game. He walked him, and that'll load the bases. And Davy Johnson will go to Jeff Reardon now with the bases loaded.
Yeah, he didn't want to bring him in to walk a batter. Wickender. Phillies don't have any more left-hand. Well, they have Juan Bell who could pinch hit, but I don't think they'll make that change.
Another pitching change for the Reds. 4-3. Phil's in the 8th. Back after these messages.
While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a way to consolidate all your bills and loans. Mellon PSFS Home Equity Loans. While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a college education. Mellon PSFS Home Equity Loans.
A new look Ranger is now at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
No other truck is built for tough.
Ford Ranger, the #1 compact pickup for 6 straight years, has a slick new look inside and out. No wonder Ranger is 93 compact pickup of the year.
It'll set you free.
The hottest new look Ranger Splash just got in town. Hurry, lease a well-equipped 93 Ford Ranger for just $199 per month for 24 months. Now at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
You better hit the ground running in a new Ford truck. Hey,
Jeff Reardon, the new pitcher, appearing in his 17th game. No wins, no losses, 6 saves, getting a chance to save some games for the Reds with Rob Dibble just off the disabled list. His ERA is 3.31. He's worked 16 1/3 innings, 20 hits and 6 earned runs, 7 strikeouts and 3 walks. Kim Baptiste comes up with the bases loaded, and Ricky Jordan has moved into the on-deck circle. So Curt Schilling is finished for the night. 1 ball and no strikes. Reardon's second all-time in saves to Lee Smith. Reardon has 363 and Smith has 369.
Fastball slider mostly.
Fouls off the slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Baptiste. Phillies have him loaded with 1 out. Phil's lead by a run, 4-3.
It's a big batter for Jeff Reardon and the Reds.
Baptiste goes down swinging. 2 down. And it'll bring on Ricky Jordan.
Not a good at-bat for Baptiste. He struck out on a bad pitch high and inside, but it was a pitch you can't hit if you get your bat on it. It's up there and in on him. But he really didn't have a good swing in that at-bat.
Jordan batting at .333 as a pinch hitter. He's 3 out of 13. One strike to Jordan. Fly ball, center field, not deep. Snared out there by Bobby Kelly, and that will retire the Phils here in the 8th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. Phillies lead and loaded. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Phils.
This is the Infinity J30. Oh, and this is the clock in the J.
There's an interesting reason it looks like it does. Infinity realized the clock is the one instrument in the car everyone uses, so they felt it should stand out.
Now, if they put that much thought into the clock, imagine the other thoughtful extremes they went to. Visit your Infinity showroom. Oh, tell them you already know the part about the clock.
This is $20,000. This is also $20,000. You'd take care of this, wouldn't you? You should take care of your car just as carefully. Bring it to Jiffy Lube, the only place with the experience of servicing 68 million cars. Considering that your car is worth thousands of dollars, experience counts.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
I remember last year, honey, when we were moving.
Right.
Well, she called us and said if we put both our new house and car policies with her, we would save money.
Well, we have so many choices at Nationwide, and my job is to make you aware of your options.
She was always there with an answer.
That's the way we're trained, to be very knowledgeable and to be there when people really need you the most. And that's important.
Agents like Margaret are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
Good evening, I'm Neil Hartman with a sports break. 2 other night games in the National League. Colorado has just taken a 2-1 lead over Pittsburgh out at Mile High in the 4th inning. In the 9th, it's San Diego and Atlanta deadlocked at 1. Bobby Bonilla's 13th home run of the year. The Mets beat Chicago at Wrigley this afternoon. Los Angeles 5-1 over St. Louis. The Expos presently 7.5 games behind the Phillies, losing today 2-1 to Houston, and rain postponed the game between the Giants and the Marlins. The Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds go now to the bottom of the 8th. Let's send it back to Riverfront.
All right, Neil, Pete Incaviglia in left field now. Came in a pinch hit from Milt Thompson, and Larry Anderson is the new pitcher. Coming on for Curt Schilling, who goes 7 innings, giving up the 3 runs on 8 hits. Schill struck out 7, and he walked 4, threw a lot of pitches, so Anderson in here in the 8th. Game number 15 for Anderson. He's 1-2, lost none, no saves, a 1.50 ERA. He's pitched 12 innings, given up 12 hits and 2 earned runs, struck out 11 and walked 4. David West gets up in the Phillies bullpen now.
They want 1 inning out of Anderson and turn it over to West, it appears.
Or maybe Mitch Williams. I think Mitch Williams will probably pitch the 9th.
Yeah, he could. I would think he might be loosening up a little bit, though.
He'll wait till the Phillies hit in the 9th inning. West is probably up there in case the Reds get a left-hand hitter up in a critical spot in this inning. Randy Milligan just missing for a ball, 2-0. Milligan is lined out to center, single to drive in 2 and struck out. Three balls and no strikes.
guy has a good eye. He just big, strong guy, but he knows the strike zone.
Walked him on 4 pitches. So Milligan is a leadoff base runner. The batter will be Reggie Sanders, who's been safe on an error, has struck out and hit a home run. Juan Samuel is going to come out and pinch run for Randy Milligan.
Davey Johnson will bunt here.
I don't think so with Reggie Sanders. Samuel has stolen 1 base. He's been thrown out once. Anderson does have the high leg kick, so you can get a pretty good jump on him. He shortens it, though, with a runner on base, and the bunt try by Sanders is bunted foul.
Yeah, he started shortening that little leg kick earlier, and just with a runner on, without a runner, you're right, he really kicks it up there. But he gets it to the catcher in a hurry now.
One strike to Reggie Sanders. Well, he is bunting all the way, 1-1.
And he took the high leg kick there.
One ball and 1 strike to Reggie Sanders. Swing. Fouled it back, 1-2. Well, he took the bunt off. A ball and 2 strikes now to Sanders.
Sanders had a pitch to hit, too. It was not the slider. It was the fastball. Twice in a row now, Anderson has taken his big kick. I guess in his mind, he thought, well, they were going to bunt, so I don't have to worry about the steal. But now he might have to change that again. There he did.
He does. Slider is tapped to deep short. No play anywhere for Kim Baptiste. And the Reds have their first 2 men on base here in the 8th.
Holland's guarding the line, so he didn't figure in here at all. Not anything Baptiste could do with this except hold on to it. I guess Joe Oliver will try to bunt, although I can't ever remember him bunting. Oh, a walk and an infield single.
And here's Oliver, who is struck out, lined out to right, and grounded out. Gary Varsho moving into the on-deck circle. Bills lead by a run, but the Reds have their first 2 men on base here in the 8th. Slider misses for a ball, 1-0. One ball and no strikes to Oliver.
Whoa, Bach and Bob. Now Dutch is really getting on him. He's out. Oh, no.
Dalton has been ejected from the game. Jim Fregosi coming to protect his player. Dalton is real. I have never seen Dalton this enraged. John Kruk now is keeping Dalton away. I've never seen Darren Dalton that enraged.
That's been building up the whole game, and I think that just came to a head, and Dalton's really getting him. Now there goes Fregosi. You know, when you get a ball game and you notice the umpires, there's something wrong. I mean, this game has been taken over by the umpires. When you don't notice them, you know they've done a good job. These guys have...
I'm sure it was a non-hesitation call by Bob Davidson, but at this point in the game, in the 8th inning, a one-run game, to call a non-hesitation balk to move the runners up to 2nd and 3rd is just, you know...
That's his nickname, Harry. Balking Bob Davidson.
I know, but it's...
Well, nothing you can do. The pitch doesn't count. It was a ball, but you call a balk, the pitch doesn't count. So the count is 1-0 instead of 2-0. There's Dalton, and
he's livid.
He's been mad most of the game. Here's the balk. Come on, come on.
In a one-run game, 8th inning situation, that's a nitpicking call. One ball and one strike.
And there was a slight hesitation. That's what was bad about it. That's all you need is a little pause.
So Johnny Padres has been ejected. Now Dalton and Fregosi. John Vukovich will run the club. 2 balls and a strike. Todd Pratt now catching, of course. And that takes Dalton's bat out of the lineup as well. High pop-up, foul, playable, I don't know. It doesn't look like it.
No.
1 row back, 2-2.
Not much room there.
Jim Fregosi, Phillies manager, to his credit, was really out of that dugout in a hurry because he knew how Dalton was enraged, and you certainly don't want Dalton getting involved in anything like bumping an umpire or anything, and he kept him away from Davidson. If there's one guy on this team the Phillies can ill afford to lose, it would be Dutch Dalton.
Infield is back. They're conceding the tying run. They don't want that runner on second to score if they can help it.
Fouls that one out of play. Still 2-2 to Oliver. Todd Pratt out to talk to Larry Anderson.
There's a guy running the club now, John Vukovich.
Another foul ball. Anderson keeps throwing him sliders away. The big guy now is starting to warm up in Cincy's bullpen. Rob Dibble.
Just came off the disabled list. Pitched yesterday in New York.
Down, no play anywhere. It's tied at 4-4. And the Reds have runners at first and third. Still nobody out. Give Oliver a hit.
Morandini made a good play, knocking it down. He couldn't come up cleanly with it, though. John Vukovic headed for the mound. And Mickey going hard to his right. Probably the ball bounced up pretty nice for him. He probably should have fielded that ball cleanly. Had he fielded it cleanly, he could have made the out at first.
David West will be summoned in from the bullpen. They'd rather see Espy as switch hitter, bat right than left. Pitching change for the Phils. We're in the 8th. We're tied at 4-4 back after these messages.
New Neapolitan pizza from Pizza Hut tastes so authentic, it's fooling everyone.
It's from Carlos on 10th.
The Lucas on 2nd.
Rosanio's on Church.
From Sal's on Liberty. See? Hand-stretched dough, rich tomato sauce, and whole milk mozzarella.
I can tell by the sauce.
This cheese is talking.
The sauce is a dead giveaway.
Oh, you want to go to Sal's? You go way down. You can't walk. Get one large Neapolitan pizza for just $7.99 or 2 for $11.99 every day at Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut? Pizza Hut?
I was going to say that. I didn't want to, blurt it right out,
I remember last year, honey, when we were moving.
Right.
Well, she called us and said if we put both our new house and car policies with her, we would save money.
Well, we have so many choices at Nationwide, and my job is to make you aware of your options.
She was always there with an answer.
That's the way we're trained, to be very knowledgeable and to be there when people really need you the most. And that's important.
Agents like Margaret are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
David West coming in to pitch for the Phils here in the bottom of the 8th. The Phils in deep trouble here. It's a tie game. Runners at first and third and still nobody out. West appearing in his 21st game. No wins, 1 loss, 2 saves, a 1.42 ERA. He has 28 strikeouts in 25 and a third innings and 11 walks. SP, the pinch hitter, will bat right-handed. Phillies bring the infield in with the runners at first and third and nobody out.
Risky, but there's no choice.
One ball and no strikes. Good fastball, 1-1.
See that pitch right by him.
What West will try to do is get strikeouts here. Ground ball. Morandini holds the runner, throws out SP. So that's 1 down. The runners are at second and third. And the batter will be Bip Roberts.
Looks like they're going to walk him. I don't know about that. West can get a little wild.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised too. Bip's only hitting 172 right-handed.
Yeah, you take the infield back then into double play depth. Now you have a left-hand hitter, Branson, up there, but I don't think he'll bat. You had some luck getting 1 out with the infield in. Why not push it a little bit? And it gives the pitcher no margin for error. Before they had a base to work with. They don't have it anymore.
So they're loaded with Reds with 1 out, and Branson is coming to the plate.
Well, he's a contact hitter. I guess that's why he's up there. He's a pretty good hitter. Not an easy guy to double.
Bases loaded with 1 out. We're tied 4-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. Fouls it out of play, 1 strike.
almost got under him. Wasn't in the dirt either. Fielded that ball with the front of the mitt down instead of scooping it like a scoop shovel the way you're supposed to do on low pitches. See?
Yep.
It's just slipped under him. Could have hurt.
1 ball and 1 strike. Base hit left field. Sanders scores. Everybody else moves up a base. And the Reds now lead it 5-4 here in the 8th.
You have to give the hitter credit there. He sliced that ball into left field. Very good little hitter, Jeff Branson.
He is. And it brings on Barry Larkin, who's 3 out of 4. Phillies quickly get Tim Mauser up in the bullpen. No strikes, no room on base for Larkin. Three and nothing. Kevin Mitchell waits on deck. To force in a run. Oliver scores. The Reds now lead it by a score of 6-4.
You got to now, of course, it's already a pretty big inning, 3 runs, but you got to keep out of a disastrous inning. The Phillies still have a time at bat at the top of their order coming up. Got to hold off now and hope you can get Mitchell and the next guy.
Kevin Mitchell 0 for 2 with 2 walks. He had a hack. 1 strike. Catch by Pratt of the low pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pratt catches those low pitches in the dirt. Backhand of that. That scares me. That's not the way to catch that ball. Scoop it.
A little bit high. 2-1. Mauser up in the Phillies bullpen. Three balls and 2 strikes. full count.
Sacks full of Reds. No place to put Mitchell.
Roberts at third, Branson at second, Larkin at first.
Exactly why I didn't like that intentional walk. No margin for error.
Struck him out. That's 2 down. And it'll bring up Bobby Kelly.
Threw the fastball right by Kevin Mitchell. Good pitch right up there on the outside corner with some mustard on it.
Bobby Kelly is 1 out of 3 with a walk. Fly ball right field. Eisenreich makes the grab, and that will retire the side, but Cincinnati bats around in the 8th inning, scoring 3 runs. 3 hits. No Philly errors. They leave them loaded. We go to the 9th. The Reds lead the Phils 6-4.
Bud Light Spotlight is rolling back into New Jersey, and that means you could be the star of a Bud Light commercial.
You guys leave me your commercial. I'm Hollywood material. Ain't that right, baby?
I love my Bud Light. I love it.
Bud Light. Bud Light.
Just look for the Bud Light Magic Truck and the Bud Light Film Crew. What would I do to be in a Bud Light commercial? And get ready to see your name in lights.
Mark your calendar and clear your schedule. The Phillies play the pitching powerful Atlanta Braves Monday, June 21st and Tuesday, June 22nd, both at 7:35, followed by an always popular business person special Wednesday afternoon, June 23rd at 12:35. Reserve your tickets by phone. Call 463-1000.
Aerostar is twice the value at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
No other truck is built for tough.
For a limited time, get a double bonus discount on Aerostar. That means savings of $1,900 plus $1,000 cash back on the ideal family vacation wagon.
It'll set you free.
V6 power is standard, 7-passenger seating and more towing capacity than a Dodge Caravan. Plus a double discount and $1,000 cash back now in a 93 Aerostar.
You better hit the ground running in a new Ford truck. Hey, hey.
Travel arranged through U.S. Air with hourly non-stops to Boston from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. every business day. U.S. Air, making business travel easy.
After 8 innings of play, it's Cincinnati 6 and the Phils 4. Weeknights at 7:30. Don't miss Real Stories of the Highway Patrol. Catch a special edition after tonight and tomorrow night's game right here on PHL 17. Cecil Espy coming into play left field. Juan Samuel stays in the game at first base. Rob Dibble is the new pitcher, missing for a ball to Lenny Dykstra.
Dibble used to be purely a power pitcher. He throws a lot of sliders now with that fastball.
Before going on the DL, Dibble had appeared in 7 games, no wins, no losses, 3 saves, a high ERA of 6.43. 7 innings of work, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, and 9 walks. And he's behind Dykstra 3-0. Walked him on 4 pitches. So Dykstra is aboard, and that'll bring on Mickey Morandini. Mickey 1 out of 4. Got that one over. 1 strike to Morandini. play, first base side. Didn't know they were using Sammy as a first baseman here.
No, I never remember him being in there at first base.
Bet he's hoping right now that Dibble does not make a pickoff move. Ball and 2 strikes. Pull Larkin off the bag so they don't get the double play. Had he made a true throw, they might have gotten a 3-6-3 double play, but they get the lead runner. Dykstra at second base, 1 down. It'll bring on John Kruk.
Yeah, he made a nice play catching the ball and knew what he wanted to do, but Larkin had to come back to the bag. That cost him a little time.
Brings on John Kruk. Drucker is 0 for 1 officially. He's hit a sacrifice fly, walked twice, and grounded sharply to second base. One ball and no strikes. Nothing.
In truth, Sammy probably should have just stepped on the bag there. And, you know, they're not worried about 1 run. I guess he thought he could get the double play, and he might have, but he hasn't made that throw from first to second very often. Maybe never until then.
3 balls and a strike as Dibble fell down after the delivery of the pitch.
Yeah, that knee gave out, or the leg gave out.
Kruk's aboard with a walk. Puts 2 men on base with 1 out here in the 9th. The 3rd walk Kruk has received. Don Gullett, the pitching coach, coming out to talk to Rob Dibble. Dave Hollins, the batter.
This is where the Phillies could use Dalton.
Yeah,
who would bat next.
Right.
But the 2 walks have hurt the Reds tonight. They certainly hurt Belcher. 3 walks scored out of 5. And you have the tying runs on base with walks.
And Mitch Williams starting to throw in the Phil's bullpen. Whatever Gullett told him, that wasn't what he wanted him to do. That wasn't close to the strike zone.
He really hasn't made any borderline pitches. The balls have been balls and the strikes.
2-0.
Nobody warming up in the Cincinnati bullpen, so Davy Johnson, at least right at the moment, is leaving it in the hands of Dibble.
Got that one over. 2-1. Strike on the inside corner. It's 2-2.
Yeah, that fooled Hollins. He wasn't looking for anything but the fastball. Now he might have it in his mind.
Miss with a slider. It is a full count.
Doubt if he would throw a 3-2 slider. Fastball is, that's been his bread and butter pitch all these years.
Walked him. He has walked the bases loaded here in the 9th inning. Phillies have him loaded with 1 out for Todd Pratt. Pratt, batting for the first time, came in when Dalton was ejected. He's 2 for 11 this year.
That's a tough spot for Todd Pratt.
Going in face of this guy. Bases loaded in the 9th. Your first AB.
Since coming off the disabled list. Had a good hack at that fastball. Missed it, of course.
Chased a high fastball. Jim Eisenreich waiting on deck.
He'll go with high gas again.
Yeah.
Hoping that Pratt would chase.
Just got a piece of it, fouls it out of play. Still nothing in 2.
Throw him a little slider. Wasn't really a good one either. It was up.
Fly ball right field. Reggie Sanders makes the catch. The runners are going to hold. 1 run does not make a difference. And a strong throw by Sanders. That'll bring on Jim Eisenreich. 2 outs and the bases jammed here in the 9th. Eisenreich 3 out of 4. Eisenreich, being in the American League all of his career until this year, has never seen Dibble. Now he could call a hesitation balk on Dibble if he wants. He's not coming to a full stop. Same thing Anderson was doing. Borderline, but he got it. 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Bases loaded with 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Phillies trail by 2. Hard ground ball. Somwell juggles, recovers, makes the play, and that'll end the ball game. For the Phillies in the 9th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 left. Cincinnati wins game 1 of this series by a score of 6-4. We'll be back to the totals and recap in just a moment.